So as you know, on this channel, I have a thing for bad ideas. And the worst idea, possibly, is to play France in 1939. But you say we've already done that. That's right, we've even played Vichy France. Now today we'll play the worst France of all, Free France. Yes, the worst France. Iron Man mode on, historical focus is on, and let the suffering begin. Now obviously our goal today will be to first lose and then win. Now we don't want to lose too quickly because I would like to pick up a couple of focuses. As Free France, you hold on to any national spirits you gather from the focus tree and most of your military and political cabinet. Not the military cabinet, oddly enough. So what I want is to last long enough to get things like levée en masse, nationalize key industries, maybe even expanding the citizenship, strengthening the government, that sort of thing, but also not getting too strong that Germany actually stalls out. Fortunately, that won't be a big issue. Let's start by strengthening the government. In terms of research, yeah, let's just go get better guns, better artillery, and marines. I think marines are going to be beneficial if we ever return to the continent. In terms of factories, well, there's a lot of build slots in France. We don't get any of them. Not anything in North Africa, not even West Africa. No, all we get as Free France is the island of New Caledonia. And very important, the French Caribbean. And that's about it. So, oh, French Guinea. Or Guyana? Guinea or Guyana? French Guyana. And annoyingly, our capital is going to be here, New Caledonia. So with our supply coming from there, I'm also going to upgrade our naval base here. In terms of production, yeah, like, sure, I guess. I'll just throw on a bunch of dockyards here. We'll see what we can build. Everything is going to go into infantry equipment. I will need artillery. I'll need towed artillery and support anti-air. I don't need tanks. I don't need trucks. And the rest on guns. I will need a lot of guns. Something like this should work. As for our political power, we will not be able to go up to extensive conscription because of full employment. It's gonna ruin everything, trust me. Instead, let's get war economy when we can. We can also hire a bunch of these guys. I'm gonna get the silent workhorse because he will stick with us. And I also want to replace Charles Tillon. And I could get like the financial expert, but he requires that we finish a focus. And we've done that focus, so we should be good. However, once you switch over to Free France, the game doesn't recognize that you've done the focus before and it gets purged. So all of these guys, while good, are all gonna disappear. Military High Command, all of these guys get purged. There's no point in selecting any of them, except for Henri-Marie Auguste Binot. This guy actually sticks around. That leaves me with a lot of political power to spend, so let's just spend it elsewhere. I'm gonna improve worker conditions because our stability is trash, and I'm gonna make our stability even worse by revoking the Matignon agreements. You bastards are gonna go back into those factories and work, damn it. Hey, you there. I can see you looking at me. Don't you dare click away. I can tell you're looking to build your empire and conquer civilizations. But let me tell you about Civilization War, today's sponsor. It's free to play, both Android and iOS. Civilization War allows you to ally and combine forces with some of the great leaders of the world. Now, using the easy controls and horizontal view, this mobile experience will pit player against player to form alliances, conquer enemy cities, or fight for the Emperor's throne. 8 different civilizations at your command to conquer all others, each with unique soldiers, national treasures, and traits. You conduct your research, you build your cities, and you train your troops to advance through the Bronze Age, the Middle Ages, and up to the Renaissance era. And while you're at it, you can meet many strong civilization leaders by completing some development milestones or through gacha mechanics, each with their own special buff effects. You can support the channel and give the game a try using my link in the description below. It's free on Android and iOS, so there's not much to lose. And use my promo code BITTERSTEEL to get 500 gold coins, 1,000,000 lumber, 1,000,000 grain, and a free castle move ticket. What are you waiting for? Go check it out. Still a lot of political power, but what do I spend it on, really? Could go the free trade. Yeah, that'll help out at start, give us some more factories once we only have New Caledonia. And we'll hold on to the rest of our political power so we can get a war economy and the espionage boy. So, espionage. Let's create the agency now, Le Deuxième Bureau. This is going to be the only opportunity we get. Once we capitulate, we'll have 0 civilian factories. Right, now for the the army. Oh boy, the French army is large and bad. So we're gonna organize an expeditionary force for Africa. So all of my motorized and my 2 competent tank templates, those are all going to Africa. And I'll send along a little bit of infantry here. Like 15 divisions should be enough for Africa itself. Then I want to hold on to the Alpine front for as long as possible. I'll park about 18 divisions there. Then as far as the Maginot is concerned, I don't really need a massive army on it. I'll just park my trash on the Maginot. That should be okay. Then we got 4 heavy tank divisions that are just worthless. And then we've got 8 light tank divisions that are equally worthless. Maybe even twice as worthless. So we're just gonna get rid of these. There's no point in keeping them. They are absolute garbage. And that leaves us with the remaining army. Alright, let's spread these guys out. So we've got our Africa Corps here, 15 divisions. I'll put them under the command of de Gaulle. And everything else, the divisions in charge of defense, I'll put them under a field marshal. All of these field marshals will disappear once we capitulate, so it doesn't really matter who. I'll just pick Maxime Weygand. In terms of generals, who sticks around? Leclerc stays. As for the Alps, this is where most of the early fighting is going to happen and where we'll be winning. I'll pick Jean here. I know he sticks around. Henri Giraud sticks around. And I think that's about it, I think. And now we set up some sort of defensive line to the north of France. This is going to be the pinnacle of suck. We're going to have a ton of fun here. We do fortunately have a large navy and we do get to keep some of it. So let's put it to work before things go south. I'm going to group up the entire navy. I'm going to group all of these boys up. I'm sorry for the incessant dings. So we're going to group up our entire navy and they can naval invasion support in the Central Med and the Western Med. We have plans for these boys. Speaking of plans, we're going to take our motorized here and we're going to set up a series of naval invasions of Italian land. Yes, our goal is to lose and we will lose spectacularly. But before we lose, I'll do a little bit of winning if you don't mind. That's pretty much the early setup done. Not much else we can do. Well, we will need some fuel, so might as well trade with the USA for a little bit. And Germany's gone to war, as they do. It is to be expected, and we're gonna join in. Just a quick little check here. Troops are in position. Most of the troops are in position. This is gonna suck. Let's go up straight to war economy, and I'll leave about 150 political power available to get our elusive gentleman once the agency finishes. Slow the game down a little and see how this goes. Now my plan is to let Italy walk in. I naval invade behind them around Tripoli, destroy their units, and we're gonna go hopping from port to port here. This is terrible terrain to walk through, and at least secure North Africa. If we can get North Africa secured, we have some sort of campaign we can play. Annoyingly, we have like no stability. That's gonna be amazing. We might get strikes, not much we can do about that if it happens. We'll just do our very best to survive. Alright, we have our deuxième bureau. I'm gonna get cryptology and as many of the radio interception techs as I can. I will not have civilian factories later on. And I'm gonna replace this guy with the elusive gentleman. There, that's most of our political power spent. I could pick military high command, but like I said, it's pointless, quite literally pointless. So Italy's pushing into Egypt. Italy's brushing up against our own lines. So how about we go give them a little bit of a nasty surprise here. I'm gonna invade Tripoli. If I can take Tripoli, cut them off, destroy these units, and then just go hopping port to port to wipe out North Africa, that will be great. It's just the one tank, so it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna support the attack, gonna drive around them, encircle the port, and destroy the unit. At the same time, these units can now move in for the kill. We're gonna attack from all sides, and the Italians are gonna have a terrible, terrible day. Support the attack, and you drive south to cut off these units. It's not much, but it's honest work. Knowingly, supply in the region is remarkably terrible, so you can't really push out too far from Tripoli. This is enough. I'll set up at the absolute border of our supply lines, and then I'm gonna go hopping again once more. So let's just plan a couple more naval invasions. So that's a respectable amount of Italian units we've just destroyed at virtually no cost to ourselves. I am quite happy with this. And there goes Warsaw. Yeah, dark times indeed. We've just landed at Benghazi completely unopposed. We're gonna lose, but we're gonna make Italy pay for it. I've lost 3,000 men and we've killed 75,000 Italians. Seems about right. I do hope Germany's actually gonna do something. They've still not declared on the Low Countries. I'm not waiting for my own downfall, but I do want the video to move along. At any rate, this has been fun enough already, so. And that is the Italian army of North Africa destroyed. And that is Belgium, and I can do something for Belgium though, so I'm gonna set up some sort of defensive perimeter like so, I think. Gonna give it a go. Sit behind that river line and hold out for as long as possible. Yeah, the defense of Belgium is gonna be a close thing. Fortunately, I'm not looking to win. I'm just looking to buy time. Buy as much time as I can. Well, I've got the political power for it. Might as well spend some on war propaganda. Yeah, the Italians are pounding the Alps. That's okay. I really don't care, Italy. You're not gonna get much. All right, the Dutch are in. That's usually where the whole thing comes crashing down. It extends our front significantly. It's very difficult to defend that region. We're gonna try though. We're gonna try. Hopes are low. Very low, if I'm being honest. Now, when we capitulate, we are going to lose all of that Italian land we just conquered. So let's just make sure that doesn't happen. And I'm gonna give control of this entire region to the British. That way, when we fall, at least this territory doesn't flip back to the Italians. I know, nobody likes giving things to the British, but it's for the greater good. And there go the Dutch. And with that, our defense is going to start crumbling. To the south, the Italians are also very, very insistent in trying to push through, but we should be able to hold. Again, now it's just a matter of buying time. We're almost done here, so 15 more days and we get to key industries, and then I would like to hold on for an additional 70 days to get Levé en masse. I have very, very low hopes for Levé en masse, but we can try. Oh god, that is a lot of red all of a sudden, yeah. Alright, so let's get Levé en masse. I just need to stall for 70 days. I'm gonna set up a different fallback line that is a little more defensible. To the south, the Italians seem to have found a second wind as well. Oh, we're just under a lot of pressure right now. And there goes Belgium. Ugh. Oh, I got Levé en masse, but I think... Let's check back. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we can hold out, realistically, though. Like, I don't think it's worth picking up another focus. We'll never get it done. I'll give a try for expanding the citizenship, but I don't think we'll get it done. Oh, yeah. Ooh, our defense is really crumbling now. Let's see. If we capitulate now, we'll have over 100 legitimacy. I am confident that we will be able to get a good campaign out of this. I'm going to make a cheeky move here. I'm going to pull as many of my units out of the country as I can. Pull them to positions where they might actually be a little bit safer. It's a bit of a dick move, if I'm honest, but, you know, I want to have some units at my disposal when I do capitulate. Run away, boys! Run away! I wonder how many of these I can actually save. Oh, it looks like I'm actually saving most of them. Come on, boys. Come on, make it to the port. Make it to the port. Get out! Get out! No! Oh, this is such a dick move. But, again, we're not here to win the initial war. We're here to become Free France. Then win the war. And there we go, the fall of Paris. This is a disaster. We do have 100 legitimacy because we did fight hard. Now we have options. If we pick the top option, we become Vichy France. Been there, done that. The fight goes on. This is Free France. Merge with Britain. Yeah, no. And continue to fight. That is where we just remain as France. And I don't know what that does, actually. The fight goes on. We will be playing as Free France. There we go. The fight for France continues. Now, how many units did we save? 5 of these guys. Not what I would have liked, but it's better than nothing. I lost Djibouti. Oh, man. Anyway, I'm going to convert these guys to infantry. That way, all of those trucks go into our stockpile. I'm going to pull these guys back to somewhere in North Africa. I don't need them right now. I'm going to let the UK do most of the heavy lifting. And then in the UK itself, this is where all of my divisions ran away to. We got a good amount of units here, actually. This is actually, yeah, very, very respectable. I can use these for a D-Day landing, try and capture Paris, and then use the decision to demand unification with Vichy. Of course, I'll first need to do a little bit of building up. Speaking of building up, this is the Free French focus tree, and it's terrible. So we're gonna go get rid of defeatism, because defeatism kind of sucks. Fortunately, we got most of the other good stuff to go with us. Let's just go and get rid of defeatism, and we can hire an actual military military high command now. Everybody got purged. I should not have spent money on hiring Henri Giraud because he got yeeted. I think I'm gonna hire Philippe Leclerc. I will be using Marines, and then I will be building out the rest of this cabinet as I get more political power. Who stuck around for my army? Jean, Charles de Gaulle, and got a reasonable army out of this actually. How am I going to handle this? I'm gonna need to beg for Lend-Lease because I don't have convoys. I need a ton of convoys. That's gonna be my first step. I'm also gonna beg for guns and pretty much everything else they might be willing to give me. And if we're gonna be begging, I'm gonna improve my relations with the Soviets as well, get guns from them. The situation in North Africa is gonna be terrible as you'd expect, but if we can secure Africa, if we can secure the Horn here, we'll get Italy out of our hair entirely. That'll be perfect. Just need a field marshal. I think we're gonna hire Jean to do that. Maybe? Actually, I'd rather wait until I get him infantry leader. It looks like we got a tiny little navy that came over with us. We've got the aircraft carrier, 2 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, and some assorted other units. We're going to be very, very conservative with these. I cannot afford to risk them, so I'm going to pull them here. And we're gonna go for a little campaign to take the rest of the Italian ports there. It just bothers me to no end that all of my supply has to come from this place, Noumea. It is so stupid that New Caledonia becomes your capital, and it's doubly stupid that once you recover, let's say, North Africa, where you have cores, and it's much closer to the actual action, you have no way of moving your capital. You can move your supply capital, but it doesn't actually impact where you can deploy divisions, annoyingly. We got 4 exile divisions from the UK. Alright, I'll take that. It's better than nothing. Anyway, I got convoys now. Let's get this on the road. Start naval invasions. If I can take the Italian ports in the region, at least we can starve them to death. Get rid of this horrible, horrible country that's in our way. Also gonna get maintenance companies, so at least that way I might be able to steal some equipment. Speaking of equipment, yeah, I'm down to 3 military factories, so I should reorganize. 1 on artillery, 1 on support equipment, 1 on guns. If I get a 4th one, I'll put it on trucks, and after that, I'll need to focus on guns and artillery, I think. Yeah, I think that's the way to go here. Alright, refus absurde. Okay, that makes us a little bit better. This side of the tree only gets you, well, it gets you pretty much nothing. It increases the resistance in the states that Germany and Italy are occupying and reduces the rate at which they get compliance. We'll need to get this stuff eventually to continue down, but for the time being, it's pretty much useless. We're now going to appeal to the French Navy, get some manpower and a couple of guns, and then appeal to overseas territories. That way, all of our colonies that are now in Vichy's hands will get a chance to flip to us. The chance is super low. I've never actually had any success with it, but then we can do some interventions and get our country back forcibly. And we're pretty much cleaning up Italy and North Africa quite nicely. If we can take their final port, that will be that. And at least they'll be contained. As far as the rest is concerned, they're not really doing much. They did convoy raid the hell out of me, so I am short a lot of manpower and a lot of guns if I ever want to do anything here. At least we got some good vengeance out of it. Like, that's a lot of divisions the Italians have trapped here now, and they only have the 1 port. Maybe I can just start convoy raiding them. Select all the subs. Apparently I have minus 12% logistics fulfillment, I have no trains, and I have minus 4 convoys. Yeah, let's keep begging for convoys. Appeal to the French nations, done. Couple of guns. I'm gonna appeal to the overseas territories first, get them a chance to flip, get some civilian factories, then I'm gonna get a couple of factories here, and then we'll start on the interventions. And I'm gonna keep begging for stuff. Come on, Stalin. Come on. You know you like me. The franc is no longer devalued. That means we have stability. That means I can use that stability to immediately spend it on civilian trains. Yes! Finally, we're starting to fix our logistical situation. Like, the main issue is just convoys. And we're about to cut off the Italian army of Africa, and that's it. The Italian army of Africa is encircled. That means we control the entire continent except for Vichy France's stuff, who will be taking that off their hands soon enough. Okay, so that's the first. Indochina has decided to side with us. That's great. Unfortunately, that means we'll have to give that to the Japanese unless we can turn them into puppets. You know what? I'm tempted to just release the territory as a puppet. I don't want to deal with the occupation. Well, considering everything is quiet in the west, I'm going to design a couple of divisions. Let's also get rid of a couple of these divisions I won't be using. The Marines might be useful. I'm going to change these Marines into something a little more punchy. 30 with Marines. We'll add support artillery, support engineers, and some cavalry recon, I'm thinking. Very expensive. Template. Actually, that is a bit too expensive. I can make it cheaper. Let's go here. Officer Corps. Replace Relief of Command with Tip of the Spear for a little bit. That will allow me to make my Marine template at a much reduced cost. Yeah, Marines are now free to add. And with these free Marines, I'll save a buck. Now we'll just add a little bit of artillery to the mix. Something like this. This is going to be my Marine template. I'm using these guys to force my initial landings. Won't be able to train a lot of them, but a few should be enough. Now there's little else to do but wait. And the Norwegians are gone. I think the Greeks are going to be next. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Gonna need manpower though, but let's start with an intervention in North Africa, and maybe I'll get colonial recruitment because I just need manpower. Biggest pool of manpower for us is gonna be North Africa. And in what is perhaps the most classic French move, the people are on strike. Our country's occupied, divided in half. We are at the brink of destruction, and all that holds us together is the French spirit of going on strike because we can. Seriously? More strikes? Come on. Oh, you're gonna put me back so far now. Alright, intervention in North Africa. That means I can orchestrate a... What is... Huh? Oh yeah, it's down here. I can prepare a coup in North Africa, which is going to take 25 political power. I don't have any political power. Alright, people of France, are you going to go on strike again? Really? 3 in a row? What? I'm just going to sit here and not pick a focus so I can actually get some political power. I am not having fun so far. Okay, so Germany has kicked off Barbarossa, so that should give us some opportunities soon. I have really been floundering. I've not been able to get anything done so far, which is unfortunate. But soon, though. Soon. Just need a little bit more equipment and I can get an operation going in North Africa. Keep asking for stuff. The UK is not generous, but the Americans have all the guns in the world and they want to send them to me. Let's try this invasion in Syria. That should start a border war. Usually it doesn't work, this one. Yeah, this isn't gonna work out. I didn't have very high hopes for this campaign, but I have even less game impact than I had expected to. Well, let's try an invasion of West Africa. Maybe that one will work. Will that work? Looks like it might. Yay! Free France is on the map. A coup for North Africa can commence. And let's start this show. 90 days, we should have North Africa under our control. Let's prepare a coup for Syria then, if I have to do it the hard way. Yay! The USA is in, so this should be over. I wouldn't say soon, but, well, soon-ish. Now, I'm thinking with Germany bogged down by Operation Barbarossa that we should at least start to try something. So I'm thinking we do some sort of naval landing in the north here and try to get our way into Paris. Because if we can reach Paris, we do have the opportunity to unify with Vichy without having to fight them. And that sounds like a pretty good deal if you ask me. So I want to give that a try. I got 24 units up there. I'll eat North Africa soon enough once this thing finishes in about 50 days. And I'll railroad these guys in Egypt over as well. Move them here. Have an easier time getting them into the UK. And then I'm going to try a naval landing, throw all of my weight behind that and see what we can actually do. It's going to be very risky and I'm going to rely heavily, very heavily on getting some allied support. But if I can just eat Vichy, it's going to be worth it. Even if I have to abandon the continent, I will have all of those colonies back. Well, let's see if our invasion of Central Africa goes well. Oh, well, that was easier than expected. Looking good! good. Free France is back on the map. What else can we do? Nothing really. I'm gonna try Intervention Madagascar next, and then I'll form the National Committee and etc, etc. Just go down the rest of this focus tree. And hurrah! It looks like our agent succeeded. The coup in North Africa is complete. We're also the spy master now, so we're getting a bunch of extra spies. And with North Africa in our hands, we actually have some resources. We have a couple of factories. We can actually do something. Now I'm gonna funnel these troops over to Casablanca, and from Casablanca I'm going to head to the UK, and we're next going to pound France. We're gonna do our own little D-Day with what limited troops we have. We're gonna take as many ports as we can, and we're just going to try and rush towards Paris. Beautiful city of Paris, yes. Okay, so the naval invasions are prepared. The fleets are in position. Once I get naval supremacy in the Bay of Biscay, I think I'm gonna launch. Germany is ball deep into the Soviet Union, and they're winning. I just hope they're distracted enough for me to make a bull rush on Paris. I'm just gonna go in and hope for the best. All right, the UK has launched. Come on, come on. Give me green. Give me green. I need green. There we go. We are gonna go in. This is it. This is where we fight, and we win or we die. The run is all going to hang here. The people of France go home in force. Things are looking reasonable. All right, so I've snuck my trucks in. Let's pin those guys and then drive to Paris. Oh, this is gonna be a horrific micromanagement, isn't it? It does look like the road's pretty open, so let's do what we can here. No way, no way, no way. Is Paris wide open? Okay, if Paris is open, I've got this in the bag. I'll be able to annex Vichy. No, Paris! The Germans got a tank in there. Okay, it's still possible. It's still possible. Move all of the infantry there from Blue Army and attack there. Yes, maybe? No, Germans are railroading more troops into Paris. Oh, come on. Well, it's not the world's greatest naval invasion, but I'd say this is a fairly successful D-Day. A lot is going to depend on just how Germany reacts to this. And if I can just push on Paris, if I can take Paris, I've got this. So maybe it's still possible. There's Americans here. The British are starting to show up. I've got a sizable amount of ports, so we should have supply. French army is still fighting on the outskirts of Paris. If I can make one push there, a good push, we've got them. All right, encirclements are happening. We're destroying some German divisions here and there. It's a nail biter so far. Meanwhile, I'm covering Germany with a fine sheen of spies. That should help. And at least down here, we've got a good portion of the German army destroyed. Oh, thank God. Those divisions are going to be needed to the north here. German defense of Paris is fierce. Come on, we're almost there. We're almost there. Paris, Paris, Paris. Give me Paris. Come on. A little bit more. A little bit more. Ah, stupid reinforcements. 90. Come on. Come on. I know you can do it. Yes! The liberation of Paris. Oh. That means I can demand unification with Vichy. The Vichy government has been dissolved, and the remaining military forces have come under French command. That means we are now, once again, a real country, and we have all of our stuff back. All right, now I gotta extend this ridiculous front line to the south here. I'm just gonna make the best of it. I'm gonna put as many units on the front line here as I can to try and push into Italy quickly, so we can set up on the Alps, sort of. It does feel good, though, to get to this point. It has not been easy. Well, the situation isn't perfect, but, you know, at least we're on the map. I'll be recruiting more troops. I'll be begging the USA for more guns, ever more guns. Work our way down here until French Forces of the Interior and National Uprising, maybe. But actually, no. No. Actually, I'm gonna cancel all of this. This is all pretty trash. This is what we want. We want to get back to our French focus tree, because this tree is garbage. And we actually have an industry now, so we're gonna make all of the stuff, and we can trade for more of the stuff. I'll be honest with you, this does feel like we're back at the start and losing to the German invasion, and oh man, the Germans are just dicking on the Soviets. I don't know if we're gonna win this. Where's my manpower gone? Yeah, I want to train sending more men. I don't have any equipment. I have no artillery. I have no guns. The USA stopped sending me most of the stuff that I desperately need. Situation not optimal. Now, with Vichy French troops arriving from all over the world to bolster this front line and the Allies pouring in more and more troops, Germany does seem to be reaching some sort of breaking point. The attacks are going nowhere. They're still struggling with naval invasion. Oh, not struggling. Our naval invasions are still struggling. But yeah, Germany's not been able to cut off the Caucasus, so if we can just put on enough pressure, we can get this over with. Germans are starting to struggle. You'll notice that this line has gotten very, very thin compared to what we got at the start. So yeah, I think we're gonna get this done. And we finished the provisional government, and we now once again have the French focus tree, and it's broken. Great. Hurrah! We've linked up our front with the naval invasion of the Low Countries. It's all coming together, boys. In case anyone's wondering, I get this question a lot. This is what I use for my trucks. They tend to work very well on a budget. Unfortunately, I don't have enough equipment for them, technically. Oh, wow, the UK is doing very nice in the north there. Yeah, Germany's just all over the place because they haven't capped the Soviet Union and they're actually stalling out here. They are fighting on too many fronts and it's not going to work out for them. Oh, I'm so happy we launched that naval invasion when we did, because I think if we waited a little bit longer, we would have been in quite the pickle. If the Vichy French had joined that war, we would have been in quite the pickle indeed. And a small little encirclement here. It's not much, but it's honest work. Anyway, as far as the rest of this is concerned, I'm just going to consolidate, try and train up more divisions, keep begging the USA for stuff, and let more and more allied divisions pour in, and we will just inch forward. I'll go for any encirclement I can, and the goal, as always, will be the absolute destruction of the German Reich. Oh, for the love of God, we have a containment breach to the south. Italians everywhere. Well, turns out that containment breach is gonna go very well for us. We've trapped them in France, and now we just mop up. Good. And the rest of the line is holding more or less. Yeah, Germans don't really have the strength to stop us. They push a little bit every now and then, mostly because of our line having to extend this far south. Once that's cleaned up and the extra units go north, this should all be fine. This is actually a significant amount of Italian divisions we've got trapped here. Haha! Love these kinds of pockets. And still no focus tree because we have capitulated. I hate that. Considering the extremely weakened state of the German army, now is the time for the French army to counterattack. I'm leaving the defense of the south to the AI. There's a lot of Italians here, but oh, Italians are still just Italians, and I am going to throw my weight against the German ranks, get as much of my country back as possible, and then I'll just divert some troops to the south again. This is such a disgusting mess at this point, but it's so much fun just to see the AI collapse after that. Oh, okay, what? UK, where are you? The UK's pulling its army out. Why is the UK pulling its army out? We're winning. So, another encirclement to the north here. The AI did well. I'm gonna let the AI clean this up. I really don't want to deal with any of this. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. Oh, seriously? The entire focus tree is reset? We don't have anything. We have nothing unlocked that we had unlocked before. And if we were... Oh, this is going to be so stupid. I could technically get more bonuses than I should get this way. Would it stack national spirits? It probably would, wouldn't it? You know what? I don't care anymore. Legitimately do not care anymore. This war is almost over. I'm done with this. I'm just gonna kill the Germans and the Italians, and that's it. And when we look at the casualties, France, baby, France, 2.1 million German casualties. We are grinding the Reich. Yep. And there goes Germany. Ah, splendid. And disgusting. Well, that's gonna give the Soviets quite a hearty chuckle. And now we just crushed the Italians, and that's it. Italy literally collapsing like some sort of poorly made house of cards. I don't know where their army even went. Are they all... Yeah, they are all redeploying to the north to meet the new front line. It's hopeless, Italy. I have a very distinct feeling that Italy is really... Yeah. Not long for this world. Vive la France, indeed. Oh, the French meat grinder in action. It's actually not even costing us all that much equipment and manpower. Now, I say that 500,000 men's a lot, but here we go. We've won. And now for a disgusting peace deal. What I hate about this is that I have to take my own land back. There we go. One hell of a disgusting peace deal in which I actually wasn't even able to do all that much because all that land that Italy takes at the fall of France, as well as Alsace-Lorraine, they don't actually return to France. No, you actually have to take these in the peace deal. France doesn't get its own stuff back. All I got out of this was my own land and Sardinia. That definitely was not worth it, and the world's now set up for a very interesting future scenario with a communist Italy for some reason. Okay, Stalin. Okay. Alright, let's put the Japanese menace to an end. Full-scale naval invasion. I just hope I can land, but Japan should have pretty significant commitments on the mainland. And I am throwing a pretty significant amount of troops at them as well. If we can take the port above Osaka, we should already have what we need, really. We've also taken Tokyo, so if I can get the port next to Tokyo, come on. Troops are landing. Yeah, I think the back of the Japanese is quite thoroughly broken. Never really stood a chance against the amount of numbers we could throw at them. So, I don't think Operation Downfall has gone all that poorly. Japan is about to fall over. And with that, we bring peace to the Pacific. And with peace comes a disgusting peace deal, naturally. And this is what that disgusting peace deal looks like. Oh boy, the USA really going for that Lebensraum. I think China's in for another century of humiliation. I'd say we made a pretty good comeback as Free France. So all in all, it was a pretty okay game once we've managed to land in France itself, but I don't really recommend anyone play Free France, not in single player. It's not a whole lot of fun. It's very tedious and very reliant on the AI. That said, here we are. We saved the world and we saved France and had a little bit of fun doing it. I hope you've enjoyed the video and I hope you enjoy the next one too. See ya.